Silver stacking mistakes I wish I avoided, but we all learn from experience. So I'm Nose for Silver. Today, I'm going to show you some of the mistakes I wish I knew about silver stacking before I got so into it. Stay tuned.
But I made a mistake too.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Like I said, Nose for Silver here. Please hit that subscribe button, like button, comment, whatever you want to do. Any little bit helps. I'm a new channel here, and I'm trying to get out, helping you see new things about silver and gold and bringing you more silver and gold on the table every day. So that's what we do here. But today it's all about the mistakes that I learned that I wish I would have avoided back in the beginning when my journey of silver stacking began. First and foremost is overpaying for premiums. Now, this can seem like a no-brainer real easily, but I'm not talking about buying a Libertad. I'm not talking about buying a Chinese Panda, coins that obviously come with their own built-in premium. What I'm talking about is, for say, right here. This is, a coin that I enjoy. They were on sale, and I got a handful of them. But there was one huge issue. While these were for sale, right at or above spot, I paid with a card, and that made me pay probably $2 more in premium for the ounces. And that's my first no-no that I would say. I'm a huge advocate of collecting points on credit cards and paying them off every month, but it took me a little while to realize that whatever I'm earning off of the card really doesn't justify the additional costs that incurs whenever I pay with that on the major online dealers. And there are some places where you can get good deals, like Costco. If you got the Costco card and you're buying silver right from those guys, and you can get up to 4% off, that's not a shabby deal. But if you're buying online and you're paying with a credit card, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And those premiums are going to be ridiculous. Number 2 is poor storage, practices. This is like, I'm not talking about just abusing the coins, but one of my biggest downfalls is to say, I do have a number of these coins right here, and then maybe I just put them in a pouch altogether with these coins. That seems good enough. The coins don't get damaged, but the capsule gets scratched if it gets moved around. And sometimes whenever I'm, digging out stuff to show on a video or something like that, I'm just scratching up all of these capsules. And that's one of my biggest storage weaknesses. I need to find a better way to store capsules so they won't get scratched. I know the coins are being protected, but, if I'm destroying the capsules, then I'm going to have to replace those before I sell them, or someone's just going to have to look at an extremely ugly picture whenever I list it on eBay. But storage is essential, low humidity, low temperature fluctuation. It's all those things that you have come to know, about storage in general. And you can even get some of those silica packs to really keep the humidity out of your safe or wherever you store the coins. So make sure you be storing those coins well, because we don't want them to lose value after you purchase them, especially if you pay a premium for it. The number 3 mistake is buying without researching authenticity. Now, you guys know I have multiple ways to verify authenticity of coins because counterfeits are running so rampant these days. And I do like buying on eBay because on eBay you can get great deals. It's just that you have to be so careful. Buying from a big online bullion dealer or buying from your local coin shop, it's going to often be a decent deal that you can get, But if you go find a gem on eBay, you can save hundreds of dollars of premiums from these really nice coins. But you got to be able to authenticate them somehow. So for me, the most easy answer, and the way I do it all the time, is with the Sigma Verifier Precious Metal Machine Pro. And it really does a great job of identifying it. But the other thing that I do, as you know, you're seeing right now, we're watching on YouTube, is that I record every single package opening, and I don't post them all on here, trust me. But it's one of those things that I want all the proof that I can get whenever it comes to buying a coin from eBay or from a dealer that I've never dealt with before. This way that I can capture the 100% authentic experience of that grading and that authenticating of a coin, and I can have that to send to eBay if there is ever an issue. So I would highly recommend one of those Sigma machines. I'll link it below in the comments. That's for anyone who is a serious silver stacker and who is dabbling in collectible coins. You just want to make sure that those metals are real. Mistake number 4, well, I've done this mistake as soon as this last week, is ignoring market timing. It's impossible to time the market. I mean, that is just the way it is. But whenever gold goes on a tear or whenever silver drops substantially, whatever the situation might be, it is time to take a look at what's going on and make purchases, your planned purchases, that are guided around those times. So I wouldn't say go out and spend a whole bunch of new money. Remember, this is not a financial channel. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just telling you my experience and, hope that you talk to a financial professional if you have any real questions. But as far as silver stacking goes, for me, I've bought gold at the peak. I've bought silver at the peak of 35, a few months ago. But I've also got some sweet deals. And, this is one of the sweet deals that I got. This is disgusting. I mean, come on. Nothing about this shouts to me as a long-lasting piece of silver. It is 999 fine. It is 1 ounce. It was made in 2024. I mean, come on. But are there really many Monopoly fans out there? The reason I bought this is because it was selling basically at spot, and with the card that I was using, it was getting me 4% back. Oh, no, it was getting me 10% back on this one because it was associated with AppMex. So, that's when timing the market for me really plays into factor, and finding the sweet deals at the same time. Because usually when there's market volatility, those major online bullion dealers will have some sweet deals available. Now, tip number 5, the last tip, and this is super important because it took me probably a year to realize this. I was a pure silver stacker, stacking buffalo rounds, stacking junk silver, stacking bars, all of that good stuff. I didn't realize that diversification was so essential. And that could mean diversifying my silver stack from just completely generics to coins that might have a slight premium on them. So I can also play that game as far as, collectability is concerned. And that's for, long holding of silver. Or as far as diversifying it by getting platinum or gold, another type of precious metal to really round out your base of precious metals. I have a decent amount of platinum. It's discouraging to own it, but I have so much faith in it in the next 10 years. And then I also like to balance out all of my silver with some gold. Even though gold's at our all-time highs right now, it's really important to me to keep a diversified stack. So I would say that was a mistake that I had in the beginning, is not diversifying my stack as much as it should be. All right, y'all. So, I'm nose for silver. Those are the things that I wish that I knew whenever I was starting out silver stacking. And it does take some lessons. It takes some dollars spent. It takes some, cold hard realities of getting a fake coin or something like that. But these are all lessons we can learn from. And getting the tools that we need to make our collection the best as possible is so essential. And because stacking silver is for joy, and it's for logic, and it's for a hedge against inflation. So you got to consider all those factors whenever building your collection and what your stack looks like, because it won't be the same for any two people, and you deserve the ability to be unique in your collecting methods and shine in that uniqueness rather than try to do what other people are telling you to do. So thank you again so much for being here. Comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Again, new channel here. Always love the help to get out there to more people. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you soon.